I don't really do intros, so I'm just gonna start talking, just jump right in. This is my first YouTube video, so bear with me. I initially wanted my first video to be a sketchbook tour that was like cutely edited and all that, and honestly, I don't know when the next time I'm gonna finish a sketchbook is. And also, that seemed like a lot of work. This video was also a lot of work. Um, so here we are. And I'm recording myself sketching, which is really weird for me because I really hate recording myself sketching. Like, the whole process is just really long and I get nervous. It feels like someone's watching me, and I hate when it feels like someone's watching me when I sketch. And I don't know. I also put a lot of pressure on myself. So I don't like to record myself sketching, which is why most of my shorts just start with the painting process, because I think that's the most interesting part anyways. So when I sketch, I do two sketches. The first one is just a messy one, and then the second one is more refined. I didn't record the more refined sketch because I really need to be up close and personal with the paper. And so, it's a struggle for me throughout this whole video to not get my head in the camera at all. But I really needed to be up close to the paper, so I didn't record that part. So this is the character that I'm drawing, and her name is Zorla. And it's funny because last week she didn't have a name. She's just a character that I drew for no reason. And I would refer to her as Zorp because it was just like a little joke because she was an alien. But I ended up going with Zorla because it went from Zorp to Zora. But that reminded me of Sora from Kingdom Hearts, a game I've never played, but I know he's a character in that, the main character. So I went with Zorla. The sketching portion of this video is the only part that's in real time aside from the end where I show the full spread. And it's like that just because I like the way it looks. I know I just said I don't like recording myself sketch, and I don't, but I do like the cuts in the process, so you can see the progress little by little as it goes. And it also just shows how long it takes for me to sketch. Even though, again, feeling that pressure, I did kind of force myself to sketch a little bit faster. I don't usually sketch this fast, even though it probably doesn't even seem that fast. But for me, it's very fast. I usually sketch a lot slower. So we're at the start of the coloring process now. I've been thinking, I show the process of every single sketch on the page, including the bigger one that'll come later. And I have a question for anyone who's watching. Is that repetitive? Like, do you want to see that? Or should I just shorten it to like 1 or 2 maybe? I don't know. It doesn't feel repetitive when I watch other artists do it, but it feels like it when I'm sitting here editing it. I don't know. Let me know. A majority of these are done in alcohol-based markers, and it's been a while really since I've used them, and I still love them. At one point, they were my primary medium. Now I'm kind of geared towards gouache and watercolors, and actually oil pastels I've gotten really into. I want to do a video with oil pastels later on, but my opinion on alcohol markers is that I love them, and they're pretty much all the same, no matter the brand. Really, what you get in better alcohol markers is like the quality of nib, I guess. And that also depends on what you want in a nib. But yeah, for the most part, to me, all alcohol markers are the same. They're not like watercolors where you can tell the difference between like children's watercolors, student grade, and artist quality. So I'll pretty much use any brand. In this video, it's mostly Copics and Ohuhu, and then there's, I think, a couple of a cheaper brand that I don't know how to pronounce their name. But yeah, like for the most part, I don't really care about the brand. I've loved most alcohol markers that I use. And this top left one that I'm currently coloring is my favorite one on this page. I think I struggled a lot with the bottom two because they were smaller and I felt like I just couldn't do what I wanted with them. They're still cute. That bottom right one is my least favorite, but they're still pretty cute. But yeah, this current one that I'm coloring is my favorite just because I can get more details, like especially in the hair and the face. And speaking of the face, you may have noticed that compared to the picture that I showed earlier, she doesn't have a nose, and she did have a nose in the picture earlier. That's because I decided to take it away. I don't know, I feel like not having a nose gives more alien, even though I did also change her from an alien to more of a sea creature. I really like that idea for her better. And I also gave her freckles, which she didn't have before. I decided that instead of having a nose, she has these holes in her face that kind of look like freckles, and that's what she breathes through instead of the nose. And I love that idea a lot. And this is the colored pencil process. It's where I do most of like my line work after I'm done coloring. And I skipped most of it. I think because my hand was covering a lot, so I just cut it out. But the eyes came out nice. That's cool. And I'm really proud of this little small character, this chibi, because I usually do not draw small like characters in this style because I just have trouble with it. Like initially when I drew this, her legs were way too long. You can still see the erase marks from that, but they were just way too long. So I'm really proud of her. She's cute. All right, so this was the downfall of this of this page. I usually do little decorations or patterns, and I was like, okay, yellow's cute for this color scheme, but doing the entire background yellow was a mistake. And you can see me trying to fix it because I was like, this is just too much yellow, so I'm adding reds and greens. Like, please take away the attention from this yellow because I couldn't take it. I hated it. I hated it a lot. And now I'm going in with this paint marker trying to like just get rid of it. And I do end up liking all these colors together a lot. It's really loud. It's very loud and bright and doing way too much, but I love doing little things that do way too much. So yeah, and I took the white paint marker and I'm just struggling. I am trying to, you could see me like in a little bit, I'm like just trying to get some more of the white of the paper back because I just didn't want that yellow there. So this part of the video is actually the next day. I initially just wanted the video to be that page, and I was gonna do whatever on the next page, whatever little doodles. Um, but I really needed to, what's the word? I needed to make up for the mistake that is that background. As you can see, I did, like, I added red to it as well. But I felt like I needed to make up for what happened on that page. So I drew her again. And obviously, she's a little different. She's a lot more monstery in this. Her eyes are kind of drooping. I love drooping eyes. I do it in my art a lot. Her mouth is open. She has sharp teeth. Her neck is very long and skinny. Like she's more monstery in this, and I really like it actually. I might draw it more. This marker was on its deathbed. It was struggling. It wanted me to put it down so bad, and I don't blame it. I've had this marker for almost 10 years. I think I've maybe had it for 9. Maybe. I'm not sure, but I've had it for a long time. I've definitely had it for at least 8 at least 8 years, 8 to 10 years. So I was surprised it was even pushing through. I guess I was forcing it to make it, but good for it. Good for it. My favorite part my favorite part to draw is the lips. And I really need to let go of this purple, cause or at least add it somewhere else, maybe in clothing next time, because I keep putting the purple in the hair. I like it for the eyes and I like it for the lips. But her hair is supposed to be the teal color, but when I add the purple, it makes it feel like her hair is actually supposed to be purple and the teal is the highlights. I'm not sure. That's what it looks like to me, but I don't know what others' perspective of it is. But I'm thinking maybe I should I need to tone down the purple for the little shadows. That's why I add blue later to try and, like, some blue streaks to try and cancel that out or even it out, but it just doesn't. But it looks so good. Maybe I will keep it. I don't know. I'm indecisive. I really like the way it looks. She's not supposed to have two-toned hair or anything. Her hair is just teal. But the little purple highlights are really cute. So with bigger pieces like this, it's way easier for me to just line with the markers instead of taking out the colored pencils, because it's just bigger, and then so the nibs work, especially with a Copic because they have a really nice tip. I really like to do line work with those. This is me using the colorless blender to push back some of the ink that went over the lines. And then I also got rid of or cut out most of the color pencil process, even though, as you can see, it did refine a lot of the smaller details. But again, like, look, it barely looks like it's doing anything. At some points, you can tell it's doing something, but unless you're at my angle, it really looks like it's doing nothing. And here I am adding the yellow again to prove to myself that I can use the yellow without making an absolute mess out of it. And The funny thing is, I still wish I would have kept the most of the paper white, but I didn't do that. I don't hate this pattern though. I still think it's better than the full, completely yellow background because a lot of the white really shows through, and I like the pattern I did. And some of these little like cross hatches for the shadows I really liked. I honestly like these right here. I should have just kept the background like this instead of adding any more. Uh, but I'm gonna add more. I'm gonna add red and blue. That's just how I am. But I still don't hate it. And I don't usually do spreads like this in my sketchbook, so it's really interesting. You can probably see from the beginning when I did a little flip through when I opened my sketchbook that it's mostly just a lot of crappy doodles. So this was really interesting and different for me to do. I liked it though. I don't know if I'll do it again. Well, I'll probably do it again, but I probably won't do it as often because this took a long time. And we're pretty much done. Here's the end. I like this. I like this spread. I like looking at it. I think it's really cute. Like I just said, I probably won't do it again, but I like it.